I are live. Yes, I are live. What's all this stuff floating on top of my coffee? Like real fine granules of some sort. So I see they did some updates to uh, Stream Yard. They're allowing you in the free version, anyways, to update something um, in the video mode here, which is pretty cool, actually. I can edit the layout right on. I guess I don't know if they're saying so, but they're feeling the effects of all the other free live stream packages coming out, which is good. Good for the consumer, anyways. Stream Elements up and running. 1 minute, 13 seconds. Right on. And I took out all the timers. Not necessary to have those. But as far as speaking to the bot, it's the same thing. Just with the exclamation point and then the first word of the channel name should bring up their. I didn't program my own in. That's unusual. I should do that. Let me just check it out, actually. Nomadic Van Man. I don't know if I put nomadic or not. Nomadic. What about Nomadic Van Man? Oh, nomadic did work. I'll have to change that. To put my own name in there instead of that long, elongated thing. So let me write that in the book. Change my own name. Change my channel name. And I think I'll use my handle, which is just the, what is it? The at symbol and then your channel name. Should work. I don't know if anybody else is on right now. It is now 7:50 Central Time. Get yourself your coffee or your drink, whatever you're drinking. Tea or beer or whatever your delight is tonight. I flew. There's a nice spot to fly down in Coco Bongo area, the hotel zone at night, with all the cars and stuff and the lights of the city street lights and the bars and the restaurants and everything and all their lights. Looks great. There's there's that golden hour, which is like still dusk. You can still see a little bit, and then coming on into night. Looks real good. I'll have to post that here soon. I just have to edit it and get it going. I don't know, these people that pop in and pop out right away. Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for, obviously, I don't think you know what you're looking for. If you're coming to someone's channel, like my channel, and popping in for just a few minutes and then popping right back out, what good is that for you? Don't you have friends online that have lives that you can go to and actually watch? Or are you just sort of browsing around to see what there is for lives to watch? I don't understand the situation. I don't understand that at all. It's best that if you know people that have lives, another one just popped in and out again, probably same person, wondering, what the heck are you talking about? Weird, man. Just weird. You should have something better to do with your time. Go and watch a bunch of shorts. That's cool. They're just short. You can watch a lot of them. Uh, just like watching, I don't know, your favorite TV program, I suppose. But get your drink. Oh, that's one thing I didn't do. Hang on. I gotta go to YouTube side. I have to change that every single time. This is not fair. Not good. Go to the Go Live section. Maybe it's my thumbnail. They pop up, they see the thumbnail and say, oh, let's go have a look at that. Well, that's not the idea. Go and find somebody that you like that's on live and that you're willing to watch instead of just popping in and out. And subscribers, and we'll do for 10 minutes this time. You got to be subscribed to my channel for 10 minutes before you can comment. Make it a little. I guess you could come in and watch. But that's a waste of your time. And the cool thing is, I'm wasting your time. That's the funny part. It takes my channel to waste your time. Stream Elements is now running. As they say, criminy jigget. Or if you'd like to hear the story of Rindersella and how she went to the Bancy Fall and slopped her dripper, you're welcome. Just say, yes, I want to hear that. Or would you like to hear the P Little Frigs? Oh, no, there was Pive Figs. There was Papa Mig, Mama Fig, and the P Little Frigs. That made Pive Figs. Or Beeping Slooty. Just pick one and let me know which one you want, and I'll tell the story. I guess that sounds fair. I just told that to Michael, Sharon, and I don't know if Brad was watching or not. He might have been sleeping, but Palmamig and Patty Dig. That's, you have to learn how to talk backwards in order to even understand it. I had a guy get a hold of me yesterday from an old video that I had put out about diesel heaters that were giving you the E3 error. Now, E3 error is the glow plug, more than likely. Now, it could be, multitudes of other things. It could be the board itself is telling you that the glow plug is not working. But there are many things you can do to test. But this guy had two, he said, brand new diesel heaters, which both give him the E3 error. Now, if that's happening, there's still a lot of things that I got to know what's going on there before I can help him out. Is he using the same electric wires with the same connector, just pulling one connector apart and switching it to the other heater? That means that connector is at fault. But if he's using separate wiring and he's got two heaters with the same error problem, that's something wrong there. That's tricky. You shouldn't have the same error with two completely different heaters. So I've got to know what's going on there a little bit more before I can help diagnose. But I've sold on my Amazon affiliate account 35 of those diesel heaters. I recommend those highly. They are nice dry heat for the wintertime, nice dry heat. Way better than your buddy heater type propane heater or your wave 3, wave 6, wave 9 heaters. Way better than those. Anything that burns propane, I don't care which way it is, you're going to get water condensation as a byproduct. And the buddy heaters and the wave 3 act differently. You have to be sort of standing right in front of the wave heaters in order for them to feel heat. It's like the sun. You stand in the sun, you get hot. You stand in the shade, it's a little cooler. Same thing with the wave 3 heaters. You stand right in front of it, you're warm. Move to the side, you're a few degrees less. It doesn't heat the air. It just heats what's ever in front of it. Whereas the buddy heaters heat the air, so you'll feel the heat behind it. It takes a while, but you'll feel the heat. Whereas a diesel heater heats the air itself, and but it's a dry heat. There is no. It burns diesel, and there's an intake and an exhaust. Intake from outside, exhaust outside, and then the nice dry heat comes to the inside, circulates the air inside the vehicle, makes it nice and hot, nice and warm. All depends on your size of your unit you're trying to heat, whether you should get a 2,000 or a 5,000 kilowatt unit. Some companies sell an 8, but that's your Chinese trickery. An 8,000 is just a 5,000, which is bumped up. The fan is bumped up faster. The pump is faster, tricking you into thinking it's an 8. It's just a 5 with everything bumped up in the computer numbers. So, like I was telling you guys, if you want to hear Rinder Sella, who is from this core infantry, and the Prancing Hints, type 1 in the chat window. If you want to hear the P Little Frigs, put a 2 in the chat window. And I don't do Rinder Beeping Slooty completely yet, so that one's out of the question. So it's just an idea, 1 or 2. And then you can let me know which version you'd like to hear. I have videos of them up, but you have to just go looking for them if you want to hear them. Hear the stories. Lever, we have a lever. Oh, the reason I was telling you about the diesel heater is because of a friend of mine that's Ronnie Braun. I don't know if you know him or not, but Ronnie Braun has 2 diesel heaters in his unit, and sometimes every once in a while he'll bump into a problem or something. And he asks, "What's this? What's going on here? What how to fix whatever?" Nothing serious though. Should work out all right. Now, if you want to make a comment and you're typing in something and it says you can't comment, that's because you're not subscribed. You see, there's trickery going on. All you do is subscribe to Nomadic Bandman. There's some bonuses there. You automatically become a nomadic outlaw and a free T-shirt, and you're a nomadic outlaw. Once you're subscribed for 10 minutes, then you can come on and comment. And then after you've commented and said what you wanted to say, then you can unsubscribe if you like. You don't have to stay subscribed. Whoopee. Big deal. But you can't comment unless you're subscribed. And like I said, if you're not subscribed and you're watching the video, well, good for you. Uh, you're not commenting, but you're also wasting the time out of your day. It's not the clock that ticks by; it's your life that ticks by. So every minute that you're on the live, it's your life that's ticking by, not the clock. The clock is relentless; it will always tick. So apparently, after well, how long have I been on? 17 minutes 5 seconds. There's 2 of you still in the house, which aren't saying too much, as you can see by the comment section there. There was someone else. He popped out. I guess he figured that was cool. He's seen enough. I do that sometimes too. I'll go to a live, won't say too much, but I'll always give the thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you like. Doesn't matter to YouTube. Always give the thumbs, show my support, and just by popping in, and you don't even have to comment, but just popping in gives me watch time, which is greatly appreciated. That's where I appreciate my non-subscribing group quite a bit. Like, thank you very much for coming in, wasting the time out of your day to help with my watch time, my watch hours. Love it, fantastic. Uh, I guess you can't spend your time any better than that. It's good quality live stream, not? Let me just see here. Thinking about um, the other day, yesterday? No, day before. No, yesterday. It was yesterday. I went to Playa del Carmen, and then from Playa del Carmen, you can go across to the island. Hey, we have a lever. Then another one that left. Finally, he discovered that it's a waste of his time to sit there and just listen to some old guy, and to move on and go to a live stream where you can actually have some good quality live stream instead of, like I said, listening to some old guy ramble on when there's nobody there to communicate with. You should record that and just watch it again later. See where you've missed out. If you leave and come back, and you can discover where you have missed. But just off the Cause just off the coast or from Playa del Carmen, there's an island you take the ferry across, and it's Cozumel. Now that's a little farther off the coast than Isla Mujeres is from Cancun. And I'm one of those people that just get boat sickness. I don't know why. It's the bobbing up and down and your inner ear or something. I don't know, but it was pretty wavy. So we were bobbing up and down, and I couldn't handle it. I have to. If I was out at sea, I'd be throwing up over the side all day long. Let me tell you, I wouldn't be able to handle that. So if you're whatever you're watching on, if you're watching on a mobile phone, an app, or the mobile or a tablet or what other than PC and laptop, how do you type something in? Can you call up the keyboard and comment, or because I never ever watch live streams on my phone or any other kind of device other than laptop. I don't know how, I don't know how you can communicate. I mean, I know you can probably bring up your keyboard and type in, but uh, that's got to be awful small. I have friends that watch live streams on 50-inch TV. Now it's even harder to type in those because you have to use your remote and pick each letter. It's just not by it's the slowest way of communication of typing. But they do it nice and big though when you can watch not lives. That's a waste of time right there. Watching it live on a 50-inch TV. That's where you watch the videos. Now drone flights or something. Now that's where you want to have it on a 50-inch screen. I just updated my Mavic 3, my Mini 3 Pro today. They just had some updates, a couple in the last week here. The first one they had out had just small flaws in them, and I think they fixed them just either yesterday or today. And I haven't had it out flying yet, but it's all updated now. All the batteries are updated, the drone's updated, the controllers updated, the latest Fly app. Everything's updated now. I just have to make sure I've got all the batteries charged up, and we'll go for um, more flights. And I think I have three batteries for the thing. One that came with the drone, and then I bought two extra batteries. And for some reason, my battery number two has only three charges on it. The other two batteries have six charges on it. So I'm behind on battery number two. So I think I'm going to fly with that thing a couple of times so to upgrade it so that I can get it up to six charges, and then they'll all be even. I want to keep them as even as possible. So I'm going to have to do that. All right, StreamYard allows you to do layouts, edit layout. Oh, the whole this is kind of neat. They added something in for the free version. Dynamic camera and grid recommended. Okay, camera slot, so I can have another camera slot or media slot. A single media slot. This slot can display items from the present menu, such as slides, screen shares, and video, a maximum of one per layout. Oh, move layer back. Oh, isn't that amazing? I don't know if you guys can see that. Is a blue box. And then I can move the layer up front. What can I put on it? Or I can delete it. What's this? Uh, Move it to the back. There I are in the square. Oh, it's got centering capabilities. Oh, large screen. Oh, exit full screen. Okay, well, it gives you some capabilities. Move to the front, we can delete, move forward, move backwards, but I wonder what you can put in it. Add item. Well, that's neither here nor there. Cancel. Discard unsaved changes. Discard changes. Okay. We'll go to the camera slot. Okay, camera number 2 slot. Fit or fill? Oh, Control F. Duplicate. Oh, I guess if I have another person, I can add them in. Oh, isn't that cool? Delete. Add item. Dynamic camera and grid. Oh, look at that. Horizontal alignment. Vertical alignment. Center, bottom, and top. Bottom. Oh, look at that. Wow, isn't that something else? Top. I have to play with that a little bit more often or more. So add item. So we only got the dynamic camera, the camera slot, or the media slot. Oh, cool. And then we can, what's under settings? Recording, virtual background, hotkeys, layouts. What do you know? Layout, guests, audio, camera, and general. Layout. Picture in picture layout. Does anybody want to come up on the panel? Ron Darrell. Yes. I have been talking to myself for the last 28 minutes. There has been a couple people popped in and popped out. I think they were probably non-subscriber people just sitting there wondering, hey, there's a live. Never been to this guy's live before. Wonder what he's talking about. I think it was kind of they're wasting their time. I'm just doing a regular surprise pop-up. I was trying to explain something about, I went to Playa del Carmen yesterday, which is about an hour away from here, 3/4 of an hour. And then off the beach there's an island about 3/4 of an hour ferry ride across to the other side or to the island. I went over there, which is a bigger island. And then I rented the scooter and tumbleweed. I didn't get my free T-shirt. And yes, when viewing on a phone, the keyboard, it does pop up. Oh, I just wondered how it, like if you're in on the phone right now and I guess just like chatting with someone, texting, using either WhatsApp or messaging or however, just as simple as that. Which, yeah, I guess you get the keyboard that you can type in, but on a 50-inch TV, um, it's really hard to type because you can't type. You have to scroll through the letters with the remote and then pick that letter, go to the next letter, pick that. And here's hard time getting the words up there. Diane, how are you? Nice to have everybody in here at the moment. I was talking to myself for the last 30 minutes. Oh, and I'm getting a sore butt by sitting here with my feet up. And I was just explaining, I went to a little island. Well, not little. I went to this island off of Playa del Carmen. It's called Cozumel. Nice island. I rented a scooter and took it around the whole island. Went there. Didn't even have time to video anything. It takes so long with the scooter to go around the island. I didn't have time. I did stop, took the drone up, short little flight, 10 minutes, if that. Stopped at the Bob Marley bar along the coast, the reggae bar. I think they had pictures of they had pictures of Bob Marley there. So he probably stopped in there on the island, Cozumel. You are good. You are good. You're good. Survived a wild afternoon of storms. You had storms there, did you? We're supposed to be having storms on Friday, Saturday, something like that. So get this, my glasses. I need new glasses because my optician doctor in Canada, he's checked my eye and he said your cataracts are getting worse. And I don't know, does that affect your prescription of your glasses? Because he said you're going to need new glasses and they want to do operations and take the cataract out and put a lens in. And I said I can see well enough. I don't need to have my cataracts removed until I get to the point where I can't see with my glasses. But he's wringing his hands already. He's wanting to do this operation, probably because they charge money for that. But looking for a new place to live. Looking for a new place to live. Where are you now? I don't think I even know. Yeah, Diane says, "What are you looking for? Mexico? Are you looking for another country or just another state?" The glasses. I have a prescription for the glasses, right? So I paid with all the coatings and everything on here. It was something like Canadian money, $600, $700, I think it was. So I figured, well, glasses and everything. Hey, John, glasses and everything cost cheaper in Mexico. So I went to get my eyes checked today and get a new prescription for glasses. And she says, she checked my glasses, what prescription is on them. She puts them in the machine and it tells you the what do you call it? The bifold, whatever, progressive thing. I don't have a line in mind. It's just not slowly progressive. And she says, and then she checks my eyes and she said, well, as far as I can see, your prescription didn't change. Your eyes are the same as what your glasses are. If I make you new glasses, they're going to have the same prescription. And I said, well, my doctor back in Canada says that's only because of glaucoma or my cataracts. So I don't know. But anyways, I got new glasses coming and they're like $280 compared to $700. Like, holy smokes, man. depends on the it depends on the area. Rent here is more than my mortgage. They're your glasses. My glasses are. You see this? They're flexible. The sides are flexible. The thing in the nose is. I can bend them. At least I can sit on them and I don't crack them. I'm getting new ones on April the 21st. They're making me some new ones. Since the doctor in Canada said you need new glasses, I cleaning these with just like rags and things. I'm getting them all scratched up, so it's affecting the scratches on them. So when I get my new set, I won't do that. I'll try to keep them. Drop a link and I'll try to come up. Oh, if you want to come up online, if anybody wants to come up online, they're more than welcome. Based. I don't know what there is to talk about, but your brain is breathing. Cozumel was a nice island to go to. I rented a scooter and drove around but I didn't even have time to video anything. I don't have very much video of that island. I hope his brain's breathing. Yeah, me too. They've added some more features to StreamYard, the free version. They're adding layouts, which is kind of cool. So making some changes. Oh, I heard a noise in the basement. Hey, we have Ron Darrell in here in the house, guys. I'm going to bring him up. We'll see what he's got to say. And okay.
Hey,
How come we can't see you? There you are.
yeah, I had to close out something to get an echo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on StreamYard, they've added this layout section to the free version. I don't know if they have that in the paid version or not, but that's cool.
Well, how's it going? You haven't got married today, have you?
No, next week. Yeah, I've got some relatives in Turkey. And when I set that April Fool's joke out, he even contacted me and he says, well, I'm hoping they extend the free flight from Turkey there. And I said, well, unfortunately, it was just an April Fool's joke and there is no free flights. So they were ready to come over here.
Hang on just a minute. I got to let this dog out.
Mm-hmm. No problem. StreamYard makes lots of changes. Yeah, they're probably having to keep up with all the new ones coming out. Like EVMux is my go-to choice. I'm using a lot of time on EVMux, so I'm trying to use some time up on StreamYard because they're free. And Melon is another one that uses the cloud resources, doesn't use your computer resources, which is like OBS. OBS uses your computer, so if you have a slow computer, it's hard to do live streaming, especially when you like to edit the screen and not just have your camera on there, like pictures in the background, or I like to have stuff happening on the screen. So yeah, StreamYard's always updating their stuff. Multiple hosts sharing the same stream to different locations. Yeah, I heard about that one. I think you have to pay to get that, though. You need a paid version to do that. Whereas EVMux, you get that with the free version. You can have multiple hosts which can stream to their own. Like if I don't stream to Facebook, the host can, or the other person up can stream to there.
I'll tell you one thing you do that I won't do on mine. I tried it one time, but that 10-minute wait, you had to be a subscriber for 10 minutes. That turns a lot of people off. They'll
Oh,
see
it
that.
does.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I have that on mine.
I know if I go into a channel that I don't know and I just want to see if I like it or not, uh, if they got
Oh,
a 10-minute wait or something, I won't go in there. I'll just go somewhere else.
yeah. See, what my original thought for that was like trolls. Now they can come in and watch, but they can't comment. So if they want to comment, they have to subscribe, and then you can set the time limit. I set it for 10 minutes. So they come in, they subscribe, they wait 10 minutes. Now they can chat and they can type in what they want. When they leave, they can unsubscribe if they want to. But yeah, I see your point. I see your point.
There's a lot of people that won't wait 10 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
And
Now that feature is, I think it's off by automatic. If you just set up a live stream, I don't think that's on. You have to go and turn that on if you want to have that on. Yeah, I see your point. Good idea. Yeah, good idea.
well, it might be people, you'll see somebody pop in on users and then all of a sudden they're gone. And a lot of time that's what happens.
Yeah. Well, when you start a live stream and you see the count in the top corner and you see, let's say, two people are on there, but nobody's chatting, and I ask them to type in a one or a two or say a word. I don't know if they're afraid to say a word. If they're are those just people that just pop in and trying to listen, or are they? Who are they? I don't.
I don't know what
I think they're wasting their time to come and watch my channel.
me and Diane were talking about that on my live last night. We were getting ready to shut it down, and there were like, I don't know, 16 people in there. There were 4 people talking and 12 people listening.
Yeah.
So it's just that way. And then every once in a while somebody will come up and say, "Oh, you were the same way." You said, "Yeah, I come in your channel once in a while, and I never had talked to you before."
Yeah, the reason I come in, I do my part as far as giving the thumbs up and showing my support by coming in. But I should actually type more. I don't like to type, but I should at least say like hello, so that you know I'm there, or other people too. I'm not just a lurker. I listen to what's going on, and then I can just like leave when I don't want to announce like, hey, it's time for me to go. I'm gone. Equal number of lurkers. Diane says equal number of lurkers. Can you, when you're a guest there, Rod? Can you see the chat window
Yeah,
or on a different computer or the same computer?
same computer.
Okay, I didn't know you could do that.
Now I can't type anything in it.
Oh, but you can see the chat though. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that through YouTube or is that through StreamYard?
I think that's through StreamYard. I don't know if I can type in YouTube or not.
Okay, wow, I didn't know that. Because I want to have, I don't know if you guys know Michael Santana. He's has a video he wants to put on my channel and watch it through there, and then take some questions and answers after the fact. But he said I can never see the chat window. And Kenneth Oakes, he always used to say, well, you have to have another like another computer and running YouTube so that you can chat.
Well, like I say, I can't type anything in. I can't talk to people in the chat other than verbally.
Okay.
because I can't type anything in. I don't know why they do that, but I guess it just gets to flying too fast or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as long as we can hear you, that's all that's necessary. Yeah,
Yeah.
Diane says Michael is a good man. Yes, he is. He's a very good man.
Well, I found out something else on my life. I love to have people up on it.
Uh-huh.
And hello, armchair. They,
Yeah, Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
but I learned that if you get more than three people in your cell phone there, then it gets where it people are talking over each other and you can't hear what's going on or something. So I try to keep my people on the screen down to three or four. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Kenneth Oakes,
Oh
Ford
yeah,
man. Yeah, he used to have like sometimes six people on, and he's the host, and he would say, when I put my hand up, everybody shut up and let him talk. Like that's the problem. Everybody was talking over top of everybody else, and nobody could say anything.
and they're the only people I've ever banned. Or I didn't ban them. I took them and just wouldn't let them up on the screen. Was a couple of guys that once they got on the screen, they'd start talking and butting in and just walking all over everybody. And I warned them, I don't know how many times, and finally just got where they were welcoming uh, the comment, but I wouldn't let them up on the screen.
Yeah, yeah. When you're the host and you can't even get a word in edgewise.
Well,
Have you collected any eggs lately? Those surprise me.
do what now?
Any quail eggs?
Yeah, but I had something happen that my hens that were laying is something got in there and three of them keeled over. I don't know if something was trying to get them
Oh
or
wow!
what. Yeah, but I lost three of the or two of them and a rooster, but I'll have some more before long.
How many do you have?
Oh, right now 15 or 16, but I got 21 eggs in the incubator right now, so
Oh wow!
I'll
Wow.
have some more. I've got some that just hatched out about a week ago that are babies.
So
I,
okay, now if you go to the grocery store and you buy quail eggs, I've seen a guy on YouTube do this. He goes to the grocery store, buys some quail eggs, puts them in an incubator, and out of the bunch that he had there, maybe a dozen, one hatched. Now, can you do that with chicken eggs? I think they have to be fertile. Don't I mean a
yeah,
rooster has to fertilize it,
they put a rooster in with them to make them start laying.
but a chicken can lay an egg and without a rooster.
Yeah, they can, but if you put a rooster in with those chickens, they'll start laying faster and more frequently than if they're in there just by themselves, just all hens.
Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about chickens, but or even quails for that matter. But
But I want to put 100 quail in the freezer. That's where I'm. That's my deal. And then I pickled some eggs the other day for them, and they're supposed to stay in the icebox for 2 weeks, but I had to sneak in there after a week and try one. But they were real good. They were deal pickle eggs.
so is a quail bigger? Like I've said, when I was on the farm living with my grandparents, we would eat pigeons. Now, is a quail bigger than a pigeon or roughly same size?
They're probably close to the same size. These I've got are what they call jumbo contract quail, and they're a quail that was raised in Japan strictly
Oh,
for, strictly for eggs and meat.
okay. Yeah, I mean, like a pigeon to me, when you get it on your plate, it looks like a real tiny chicken.
Hmm.
There is no difference. It's got drumsticks, it's got wings, it's got breast meat. It's very small, but good.
But the pigeons were brought to the U.S. for a meat bird, and they just got loose and adapted. They're not native to the U.S.
Oh, really? Oh,
No.
wow.
Mm-mm.
Now there's millions of them.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere, and nobody eats them.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, most of my friends back home, they said, "You eat pigeons?" They frown on that, and I said, "Well, they don't actually. I can't remember the taste exactly, but it's probably like a little chicken. It's just
They're like a dove.
yeah,
A dove has got about the same taste as a pigeon does.
okay."
The
My the reason we ate them is because my grandparents. I don't know why they raised the why they had a pigeon coop with a bunch of pigeons. I don't know why, but Daryl, how you doing, Daryl? Van City Adventure.
Hello, Mister Darrell. How you getting along?
He's probably out doing some camping with his truck.
Boy, this weather needs to settle down. Though I keep wanting to plan another bike trip, and this dang weather won't settle down. We got some bad weather down in here for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, like winter won't go away. Like, back home in Canada too, where I'm from, it's like winter has come back. Snow, cold again. It's crazy.
Darrell and your other brother Darrell, they well, it's been hot here. It was like 87 yesterday and 92 today.
Wow. Daryl says sunny today. In You're not in Burnaby, right? What the heck are you? I can't remember exactly. I know it's not Vancouver. Surrey? I'm not quite too sure where Daryl is. Speedo weather today. Wow. Okay.
It don't get that damn hot, Darrell. You talk about losing subs.
Oh,
I come on here with a speedo on, you wouldn't have any subs at all left.
yeah, I had Langley. That's right, Langley. I had mentioned to some friends. I said if I put a video out, I should wear a thong. That'll do something.
Mm-mm. I tell you what, there's been some crazy weather. Diane and them, I think, are in a tornado watch right now. But luckily, the storms haven't come quiet. They're getting within about 50 miles of me the last 2 or 3 and went away from me. But Diane's been catching them.
Looking for excuses. Yeah, looking for excuses.
Damn, I'm glad I missed that one. There's some things you just can't unremembered, you know. Hard
Yeah,
to forget.
yeah, you can't unsee something.
They were talking on Nate's a while ago about the people pulling different things, and I hadn't thought about it in a long time, but I was in a construction business, and I had a meeting with 4 engineers, and these engineers are, suits, white shirt, ties, real. They let you know right quick they were an engineer, and I love to mess with them kind of people. And so when I walked into that meeting that morning, they were all dressed up, and I walked in that meeting. I had a full blown afro, bell bottom pants on, big sunglasses. That broke that meeting up. Oh, Lord. You got to
Oh,
have some fun.
yes. Life's too short. You got to have some fun.
Oh, yeah. They used to hate me on them jobs because you get one that get to messing with you. Well, I had a welder in my hand or a cutting torch, one or the other. And I'd catch one of them standing there talking to me, and I'd hit that welder, strike an arc with it about 4 or 5 times like that. And they'd wind up staying up all night with their eyes burned. Or, or take a cutting torch and they'd wear these damn polyester suits and
Yeah.
sport pants and stuff. I'd take a one of them cutting torches and wait till they got pretty close to me and hit a piece of metal with it and just blow sparks all over them. It looked like it got shot by a shotgun, 'cause that fire had hit them to burn a hole. They got where they just stay away from meat.
Yeah, yeah. Burn a hole in their shoe or something.
Yeah, well, if you spray that cutting torch on them on that polyester, yeah, it melts and it'll just burn a hole, and that fire spreads out, and so it looked like you shot them with a shotgun.
Yeah, that polyester stuff that'll probably stick to your skin if it's hot.
Yeah, they got one. They gave me a pretty good. Uh, they didn't get too close to me when I was working. I had
You
another.
know, I used to be I'm a journeyman electrician, but before when I was apprentice, you had to work underneath a journeyman. Well, sometimes the journeymen were hired as an electrician, but they were studying to be welders at the same time, but they were hired on the job as an electrician. So what I had to do is he would do the welding and I would be the guy that would hold the bracket, on the ceiling or whatever so that he could weld it there. Well, he was fully decked out in the leather jacket and everything. I had nothing and I got all the sparks on my clothes. So I went home every night with my holes where clothes were full of holes.
Yep.
And he was saved.
Yeah, polyester speedo might be bad, Daryl. A bunch of construction workers, they play rough. They work hard and rough conditions, and they play rough.
I
I
bet.
I was not bad about wearing the leather, and the reason is, yeah, you shed some fire on the outside of them leathers, but if you ever get any fire inside them leathers, you can't get away from it.
All right. Yeah, if it falls down inside somewhere and you can't get away from it.
We used to have an old boy that worked for me, and he weighed about probably 325. He was a big old boy, and he was continually taking his damn pants to get down the crack of his butt to be going. And you talk about funny. I've seen people walk by and drop a cigarette down the crack of his butt before, but most of the time it was a damn drops off a welder. It go down the back of his butt, and all of a sudden you look up and his butt would be going. It'd squeeze and it'd burn him worse, and he'd turn loose and then it'd burn him again, and he just talk about twerking now. Woo.
That's a good one. Yeah.
But them boys I worked with, they'd walk by and drop a cigarette in your pocket, or get a red hot welding rod and drop it down your boot, or they played rough,
Holy boy.
But if you did that to somebody, paybacks were hell. It was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you can expect that. Yeah, no kidding.
There are certain welding rods that you got AC and DC welding rods. And if you got it on the wrong setting, they will not burn. They'll just sparkle. You try to strike an arc with it and it won't light up. And you get some old boy welding and all of a sudden reach out there and change the polarity on that welding machine, and all of a sudden he can't make it work. Oh Lord.
The guys playing tricks, eh?
Oh yeah, like I say, they work hard. Sometimes we were working as many as 100 hours a week, and so there was always some kind of BS going on. If you took stuff too serious, you couldn't hang out with that crew.
Right.
They'd run you crazy.
And I used to work in camp jobs, and in wintertime, and everybody wanted real good extension cord to plug their vehicles in, up north there. And the wire they had was it could be 40 below and the wire wouldn't be stiff. It nice and supple. I would go on the job and wrap my body with this wire and then put my big coat over top. Stealing the wire from the company, but I've made myself a real nice extension cord.
I thought you were gonna tell me you were making a heater out of that extension cord. Yeah, that too, Diane.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. What Archie Bunker says, one of them that sort of like this.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I watched some old Archie Bunker reruns here a while back. They would have kicked him plumb off television now for some of the
Oh,
things.
I know. Yes.
But he was funny.
Yeah. What was his daughter's husband's name? What was his name? Meathead. Meathead.
Yeah. I was trying to think of his wife's name.
Edith.
Edith, yeah.
Yeah, Edith and Meathead. I can't remember his daughter's name though.
I saw a picture of his daughter here a while back. And, she was a good looking little thing.
Yeah.
She must weigh 400 pounds now.
Gloria. Oh yeah, Gloria. That was his daughter on the show.
But they wouldn't let him run that for 5 minutes. Now I'm surprised they let him do it on replay.
Yeah, he'd be what do you call it? Banned from saying certain things that he said.
I was watching a deal with a camping guy that he camps up in the mountains in the wintertime. He loves the cold weather in tent. And he was talking about how YouTube was jacking with subs and stuff. And he went over to Rumble. Apparently that program's coming on.
Oh wow.
I know I did a video of that puppy of mine, that little bulldog, and what it was what, and you say I got a dog's life, and it was talking about you didn't have to pay for food, sex, water, medical bills, nothing. Somebody took care of all that for you. And that thing took off and went up to, I don't know, 150 views just right quick. And that thing, the next day, they went to dropping views off. Now, how in the hell do you undo a view? And they dropped it all the way down to like 60 views, I think, that next day.
Wow.
And
how do they do that, I wonder?
I don't know. You got me.
Holy.
And I know I'm hitting that year's time. I had some videos that had 3,000 or 4,000 views on them, and they're dropping off. They're a year old now. So, that drops your yearly deal down. I still got 11 or 12,000 views, I think. But I was up to 14,000 there for a while.
Yeah, you were saying your watch time hours. You have lots of watch time hours.
Yeah, I had 14,000. Now I'm down to 11 something.
Wow, you're still way ahead of the game.
Oh yeah. Well, and I don't give a damn if I ever get monetized or not. That's not.
Yeah, well,
I don't care about that.
Yeah, me too, Ron. I started YouTube because I needed some place to put my videos. My hard drive was always getting full, and somebody said, "Well, why don't you put them on YouTube?" So that's what I did, and it freed up my hard drive. And then people started to subscribe, and they started to watch. Monetization was never in my, I'm still so far from it that it doesn't matter, anyways. But
there's some people on there. I'm not going to name any names, but they went in and had like 400, 500 subscribers, and just overnight they went to 2 or 3 thousand subscribers,
Wow.
and they bought them. Is what they did. And there's places on here that you can pay for them, but it's sort of funny. You pay for them, and yeah, you get up where you monetize, but YouTube pays for every 1,000 views, and they run lives like mine, and they'll have 12, 15, maybe 18 people in there. Well, Lord, you wouldn't make $2 a month off of that.
Yeah. I
And
know you got to be really high up there in order to make any kind of, like an actual living from it. You got to be way up there.
well, this guy I was talking about, he he's got like 70 or 80,000 subs. He's a real popular channel, and but he was talking about this Rumble that they paid from per thousand. They paid from $3 to $20 a thousand. Well, if you had 10 or 15,000 views and it's $20 a lick, $20 every thousand. Well, you make some pretty good money like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you buy subs, people to sub to you and watch your videos, won't that come back and bite you in the ass?
Yeah, it will eventually.
Yeah, that's what
And
I was thinking.
that I know a couple, 3 people that did that, and now the biting is fixing to start because they don't have the views to back it up. And once you get monetized, the views is all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, you know, now there's some people on here that work their butts off to get to that point, and I got all the respect in the world for them.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Diane, what did they pick up one night in views? They were running less than 20 views a deal, and one night they had 250 views. Just bam, all of a sudden.
Yeah, something's funny there, isn't it?
Yeah, and to go from 500 subs to 2,000 subs in 3 days, well, that's getting it pretty good.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy smokes.
But like I say, they gotta pay off for it. Hello, Glenn.
Glenn is new for me. I don't know Glenn. With the name that he has to be good. Well, hello, Glenn. Anyways, thanks for popping in.
Yeah, I better not say that. Never mind. No comment.
Private joke. Private joke.
Oh Lord. Well, did you get any comeback on your April Fool's joke?
Me? Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I got almost 50-50 people that actually believed it was true and 50% saying that they knew it was a joke. But I had 3 people that give me flack about it. Like they said, you shouldn't be telling stories like that. We believed you, and now it's you're. And I said, well, that's the whole idea behind. There is no April Fools in Mexico. They don't have April Fools here. But I figured the U.S. and Canada, they know what April Fools is all about. It was supposed to be in fun. So
I did that a couple of years ago. I got on there and told them that'd be my last live, that I'd picked another job up. Oh, I got cussing from a bunch of them. One lady still gives me a hard time. She says, I was crying. My Lord. We're going to have to get Janice in here, Diane.
Ron almost got his butt kicked.
This lady we're talking about is Janice she's from Australia. And boy, she is a character. I'm talking about, she got that Australian humor, and it's a little different than ours is. But she can come up with them one-liners you wouldn't believe.
Australia.
She cool.
Yeah, well, I had after that video, I had to come up with the update, explaining that it was just an April Fool's thing. Because when you go on YouTube and you see the video, you can see the description down below, and you can read about the first 2 or 3 lines. Well, within those lines, I had mentioned it was April the 1st, and to check the date. And I guess not everybody reads, the very first couple of lines. So. And I said on my video, I said, if you come on and you believed me, and like, shame on you, for believing what I said and still had the April 1st on there. And I don't know if you believed me and you didn't read that. Well, I get a shame on me for fooling you.
No, you fooled me. I thought you were thinking to be an old married man.
Well, Michael Santana, he came on and he said, it's your facial expression. He said, you looked like you were serious. He said, it was on your face. You were in love. You were going to get married. And he said, I couldn't believe it. And then when he found out it was April Fool's joke, he said, oh, well, son of a gun. I was ready for that. I was ready for it to come to a wedding.
Yeah. Well, I was going to pat you on the back and congratulate you on getting a little bitty young thing like that hooked up.
Yeah, she was real nice looking girl too. My goodness.
Did she think it was funny?
You know what? I was at my dentist's office at the time, and this couple sitting there, and I was explaining about April Fools, and she was looking at me. She's from the States, so they know what April Fools is. And I just mentioned I need a girl to pose as a wife. And she says, well, I'll do it. And she was all for it. And I've only met her 10 minutes before I took the video.
She sounded like she's a character.
Oh, yeah. She was actually, she was with a gentleman friend, not her boyfriend and not her husband, just, I guess, traveling companion. They're from the States, and they're both getting their teeth fixed. And he had come in for a full mouth, so he was going to be tied up for a couple of days. She asked me to tag along with her to show her around Cancun, where to go and what to do. And holy smoke, she's a good-looking woman. I should take her up on that.
Did your heart good, huh?
Yeah, made me feel like a real young guy again for a little while, anyway.
Oh, Lord. You got to have some. That's what I like about the YouTube and the live, is having a good time with it. And I'm about half a smart ass anyway. You ain't never tell what's going to come out my mouth next. And so I do it because I enjoy it,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that.
Well, I did one a couple of years ago when I went to Vancouver with my van. I live in a van. I went to Vancouver every winter. I go there. And the April Fools on that time was I went in Photoshop and I made the front end of my van all smashed up. And the joke was that I busted my van up. I hit somebody, and I'm stuck here and I can't come home. Well, I had my sister and her daughter. They were ready to drive to Vancouver from the prairies and come and pick me up. And I told them it was just an April Fool's joke, and they were mad at me. They said I fooled them, and they were just pissed right off at me for saying that, it was just an April Fool's. We were ready to come and help you.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with a good-looking young thing.
Yes. Ron, just like the dumb young ones that first.
My wife, before she died, she was a good-looking little gal. And she used to laugh, and she'd say, yep, I don't mind you looking, but I better not ever catch you touching.
Well, again, speaking of that, the dentist office I go to, the girl that ran the office, she was the like the boss there. She would really, she liked to dress, provocatively. That's just, she liked to dress like that. And I'll tell you, the customers, they had some husband and wife customers in there. Well, if you're going to dress like that, the men can't keep their eyes off you. And the wives were slapping their husbands because they couldn't keep their eyes off of her. So they sent her to a different clinic.
I tell you what, one of the funniest things I ever saw, there were four of us had come to a deer lease and were deer hunting. And we came out and we pulled up on the interstate. And we run down the interstate 70 miles an hour. All of a sudden, this motorcycle comes by. And there's an old gal riding behind a guy on this motorcycle. And she leaned back on that sissy bar. And she had, what do you call them, halter top on. And she had that thing pulled down around her waist. She was just naked as a jaybird waist up. And we cut up and went on. Well, I slowed down and backed up and got about 100 yards behind him. And I never have laughed that much in my life. You'd see a car come by and it'd be a couple in it, and they'd be going, yeah, and slow down. And then all of a sudden you'd see the wife just beating the hell out of the damn guy. We laughed. Well, I guess we followed them for 50 miles, just watching people pull up beside them, I had a CB in my truck. I heard there was a cop up the road just 4 or 5 miles. I pulled up beside him and rolled the window down and pointed behind him, and he got to looking around, and all of a sudden he looked back and saw those boobs sticking out, and he like wrecked that motorcycle. Anyway, you better cover them up. I bet that was a shock to him too.
Yeah, I'll bet.
If she'd hit a June bug running about 70 miles an hour, she'd probably pull that top back up.
Yeah. I used to eat lots of bugs.
Ooh. I got to have a windshield and a full face mask. I got hit with a damn bumblebee right square between the eyes one day, running about 80.
Yeah, well, when you're going like 70 miles an hour and a bug hits you in the back of the throat, my goodness.
Yeah, you learn to ride with your mouth shut.
That's for sure. Yeah, mouth shut. That's right.
Oh, goodness. What are you running your mouth about, Diane?
You attract tramps.
Well, it's like I said a long time ago. I might say that I do, but I never will say I'm blind. So,
yeah.
And the only difference in men and women about looking at that, a good-looking woman will walk by and a guy will turn around and watch her. And if a good-looking guy walks by, tight pair of jeans, well, the first thing the woman does is look and see who she's with, if they're watching her, and if they're not watching, then they turn around and look. They're just sneakier than those men are.
Yeah. Well, I always said if you have a room full of men and a woman, I don't know if it doesn't matter what she looks like, but she just bats her eyes. All the guys are, but you turn that around and have a room full of women and have a guy walk in, he can bat his eyes all he wants, and that's not going to change anything.
I tell you what, you just get when I was a young buck, I was about, I guess 24, 25, and I'd already served a couple tours in Vietnam, so I'd been married and divorced, and so I was a little bit seasoned, I guess you could call it. But I dated a little old gal at Baylor University, a couple times, and we got to be good friends, nothing else. Well, she had like 15 girls in her dorm. Well, they'd want to go to a nightclub or someplace like that, and they didn't want to go without a guy. And I've been introduced as every one of them's husband or fiance or something if they had some guy they were trying to get rid of, you know. But when there's no guys around, women don't act like they act when the guys are around.
Yeah.
I learned more. Women will sit there and talk about inches and centimeters and stopwatches and the whole 9 yards. And a guy will say, "Ooh, that's a good looking woman." You know? Women get real specific. I used to sit down at a table with my back to the front door going into a bar like that, and these gals would all be sitting at the table. And all of a sudden, you'd see them all straightened up and stick their chest out and posing, you know. Well, I knew good and well a good looking guy just walked in. I didn't even have to look. And if you looked up and there was a good looking woman come walking in, they never seen her before, will never see her again, but you can see claws on every one of them run out. Just,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's for
there,
sure.
just watch them gals and just be rolling. They'd be telling me, shut up, shut up. Oh, Lord. Got to have some fun. I got to let that dog in. He about to drive me crazy.
All right.
Right back.
Yeah, I could hear him barking. They got all kinds of dogs up and down the street here that barking all night long. Somebody walks by and they all go nuts. Most men are only looking till they open their mouth and ruin the illusion. Yes. Could be that a lot of the good-looking guys are a little narrow between the ears.
Diane, I used to have a good friend of mine that we hunted together and run around together, and he was the best looking guy you could believe. He was built up good. He was just a handsome man, and he'd draw women for, you know, he could just walk the room and every woman in there would perk up. But it was hilarious. We'd go someplace and he'd have all these women up until he said something. And he talked like this. He sounded like a girl when he was talking. Lord help you, talking about a room cleaning out now. Whoa. He used to laugh. He used to just be watch them gals walk up and start talking to him, you know. And all
Yeah,
of a
that'd
sudden,
turn them off right away, I guess, eh?
oh Lord.
Yeah, everything went to their looks, not to their brain.
Yeah. Until they heard him talk. Oh yeah. Well, Diane, I don't pay much attention to that because it's like I told a gal one time, she was raising hell and putting men down, you know, for all men were all running around and couldn't stay out of somebody else's bed. And I told her, I said, you know, there's one thing wrong with that. For you to cheat with somebody, have sex with somebody, it takes one man and one woman. So every guy that gets out of line got to have some woman get out of line too. And if it was like women want to make it sound, there'd be a bunch of horny old boys out there and one wore out whore.
Yeah, it takes two, doesn't it? Yeah.
That goes for women too. Oh, yeah.
I met a girl once that I was interested in, and she had a lot of women, like women friends. I thought they were just friends until I wanted to get together with her. And then she says, it's the women you got to worry about. And I thought, what? Holy smoke, look out. Yeah.
One of those AC/DC, huh?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how things work. I've known some ladies that were attractive, but they weren't knockout gorgeous. I'm talking about, but they were nice looking, you know. And then I had 2 or 3 friends of mine that were just drop dead gorgeous. I'm talking about just perfect complexion, figure, everything else. And they couldn't hardly get a date. It used to crack me up because the guys had sort of, oh, hell, good looking she is. She not going to have nothing to do with me, you know. And I used to, it's one little old gal, and she was, I mean, oh, good looking thing. We were good friends, raised together. And she called me every once in a while and said, I want to go someplace. I can't get nobody to take me. She said, come on, come get me now. Go out, you know. And I always thought that was funny. As good looking as she was, and she couldn't get a date. And she was sweet, the little thing. I mean,
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it?
yeah, but the guys were scared of her. Yeah, that's right, Diane. Well, now I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to agree with that one. I'm going to say some guys are.
Yeah.
So,
As a matter of fact, 10 years ago when I first came to Cancun to get my teeth done, the girl that did my teeth, she's a good looking Mexican girl, doctor. And I just said, do you have a boyfriend or a husband? She said, no. And I said, well, how come? You're such a beautiful looking girl. And there again is because she wanted to meet someone that had brains. You know, I guess they all wanted her for her body instead of her brains. So
yeah, it's a weird world. And you know, you can talk to one guy and what he thinks sexy in a woman, the next guy don't even think about that. Or what with a woman too, it works on both ways.
right.
It there's it's funny what attracts people.
Yeah.
Back in my running days when I was partying and doing all that mess, well, I was about 24, 25, I guess, and I already owned a business and was pretty successful. I wasn't rich by a long shot, but I wasn't broke either. And I ran with, there were about 5 or 6 of us ran together. And they'd get ready to go to a dance. Well, they'd be there at 8 o'clock, you know. They'd be in there, a band start playing about 9.
Uh,
And they'd be dancing and hustling them gals and buying them drinks and all that kind of stuff. And I'd wait till about 11 o'clock before I'd go over there. I'd go in and it was funny. If anybody was going to leave with somebody, if they wanted to, it would be me. And the only reason them guys would say, how the hell you do that? And I said, hell, y'all just, y'all are practice guys. They've got you in their hip pocket and they know they can have you if they want you. And somebody they don't know about, well, that's attractive to them. Y'all are just exercise boys. Damn, that'd make them mad.
yeah. You come in when they're drunk. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Everybody gets better at looking at closing time. Huh?
Yeah, in my home city in Canada, there that they have the British military base there, and they're called the Brits. And they would go to a bar about 6 or 7 at a time. Well, they would go to the bar drunk already. So no wonder they couldn't pick women up. They had a hard time. They were already drunk.
Well, I think part of that, the reason that worked like it did with me is I didn't go in there trying to pick somebody up. I wasn't walking in there hustling and that kind of stuff. I just going in there and have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny. I used to drink and party and all that, and I don't even drink anymore. I might have 2 drinks a year.
Yeah, yeah, me as well.
But I can't complain. I had a good time. So, Paula, you know who Paula is?
Paula, yeah.
Paula was talking about fixing turn 49 or 50 or something like that the other day. And I got a birthday at the end of this month. I'll turn 77. And I told her, I said, y'all talking about turning 50 and all down in the mouth about it. I said, have you got any idea what all I've done since I turned 50 years old in the last 27 years?
Yeah. Wasn't Paula kind of dating or seeing Nate?
Yeah. Yeah. They
Yeah.
there for a while.
Yeah. Ron is spouting.
No, I'm just saying it like it was.
What's with the emoji? Is that a dog and some a little pile of turd there, a dog turd?
Knowing her, I ain't no telling what she'll come up with. She can make these computers do all kind of weird stuff. She knows these computers, though. I have to ask her every once in a while to help me on some of this stuff.
Oh, it's a bull. Okay, bullshit. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, bullshit. Yeah.
Rocky done got him a plastic bottle he was attacking back here.
Oh, that's what that noise is.
Yeah. Crazy dog.
Well, I had a friend that we stayed over at his place overnight, and the dog was chewing on something. And by morning, the guy come up and his false teeth were all chewed up, nothing left.
Oh, hell.
It's like a bone.
I've heard of that before, too.
Yeah, he must have fell off the counter and he got it on the floor and chewed it all up.
Do you ever think about driving your van down there to Mexico?
I was thinking about it. Somebody said, "Why don't you take your van?" But now that I've been here for 6 months, I don't like the way they drive. They can drive those big city buses like in and out and around the corners, and I'll tell you, I haven't seen. Well, I've seen 2 accidents, minor, nothing major. But when you see something like 30 kilometers an hour, they're going 70.
Yeah.
They're just driving like wild. And it might be 2 lanes of cars, and the motorcycles go right between the two, all the way.
Do you know in California and a couple more states, they've made that legal?
Yeah.
What they call lane splitting. They're out. All somebody got to do is open the car door.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I ride motorcycle a lot, and I'm not in that damn big a hurry.
That's pretty dangerous, let me tell you, especially when they're stopped at the light and you're pulling in from behind. Then somebody could open their door to do something.
Yeah, or just scoot up, try to go to a different lane or anything, and you ain't got no place to go.
No. Yeah, like I said, I saw two accidents, like minor thing, tiny little fender benders, nothing major. But I'm surprised that the way they drive, you don't see more of that. Especially with a city bus, they get, and I don't think they have any regard for human life as far as people walking on the street. They'll run you over if you're in the way.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Mexico is still like that, but used to in Mexico, if you caught a cab or something going someplace and he got into a wreck, you better throw the money on the seat and just get up and walk off.
Yeah.
Because they try to hold you responsible because you had that cab hired.
Oh yeah. They try to hold you responsible for all kinds of things, let me tell you. like just yesterday, I went to Cozumel's Island and I rented a scooter to drive around. Well, I videotaped that whole scooter before I left the place to make sure that the scratches and dents and everything were, I wasn't responsible. But I had a sign, I didn't want to buy the insurance because they're trying to squeeze $1 out of you. And I said, no, I don't want that. So he said, well, sign this paper that says I'll be responsible for 100% of the money if something happens. Well, I didn't want to get back and say, this and this has happened and you're responsible to fix it. Get them a new bike out of the deal out of my behalf. So I covered my butt anyways.
Well, it's crazy. Vietnam was like that. If you were in a vehicle and it had a wreck, you better leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, and they've got the motorcycles. The last time I was in Mexico City, there were motorcycles everywhere. Scooters.
Yeah. Yeah, they still are. They're everywhere. And like I said, 99% of them go down the center between the cars. Some of them don't, but they have to wear a helmet here. We're not in a country that they have to wear helmets, but still, you see them not only going in the center. If they can't get the center line, they'll go to the outside and then weave back in again. They're weaving in and out.
Mm.
And a lot of horns honking. Like, get out of my way. The horn is on. They're on the horn.
Yeah, you unhook their horn from one of the places that people down in Mexico, they can't drive a vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to go to Mexico quite a bit. And in fact, we rode motorcycles all the way to Mexico City one time. And we'd go to Monterey all the time. And then I had a friend of mine that bought a ranch way down below Mexico City. The only way you could get in was fly in. And I used to go down there pretty often. He bought 10,000 acres down there for nearly nothing back in the days when you could do it. And he didn't realize it, but he bought 2 5,000-acre pastures. And there was a town in each one of them pastures. He bought the town when he bought the ranch.
Holy wow.
And these people didn't know what ice was. They'd never seen ice. And they'd never been out of that 5,000 acres. And they never had seen a radio or TV, any of that kind of stuff.
So the guy didn't even know what he bought. He just
No. And then people loved him because the people that owned that thing before, they were all sharecroppers, and he'd take most of what they could grow or make. And Dave made a deal. He wanted to build a big house, and he made a deal that if they'd make him 6 adobe bricks a week, that was their rent. They could keep everything they raised. They thought he was something else now. They loved him to death. But that was quite an experience. There was no woman down there that had a big flat rock. It was about 4 inches thick, and it set up on some more rocks. And every morning she'd get out there and get that corn and grind that corn up and build a fire under that rock. She'd make corn tortillas on that rock. And that's the best corn tortillas I ever had in my mouth. And she'd see me coming, she'd just go to laughing. She'd go to making some more tortillas. I sit there and eat things till I nearly bust, boy. And
yeah. Well, the corner stores here, they have the wheat tortillas hanging on the things, but nobody buys those. They only go for the corn, the real tortillas, the corn ones.
I like the corn better than I like the flour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now here in Texas, they eat a lot of flour tortillas. And
Yeah.
I like Tex-Mex food.
Yeah, I do too. They have businesses in Canada. They're called Taco Time. I don't know if you ever heard of those. Well, they're supposed to be tacos, but there's not you can't find a taco in all of Canada like they have here. It's just an impossibility. They call them tacos, but they're wheat tortilla and they're quite big. They're 3 times the size of a real tortilla here, and then they put some ground up hamburger in there, or chicken chunks, and with a little bit of salad, and then a dipping hot sauce. That's about it. It doesn't taste anything like a taco. So
Well, you know what surprised me is how different Mexican food is depending on where you're at. You get in Mexico, the food's not spiced real high. You add the spices to it, but what they cook is pretty bland.
yeah,
And now in Texas, you got Tex-Mex, and it's spiced up pretty heavy. You got New Mexico, and that's a whole different breed of Mexican food. And the same
Yeah.
thing in Arizona, and the same thing in California. It's a whole different animal.
yeah.
And I was shocked the first time I went down in Mexico at how bland the food was. Now they'll
Oh.
always have the spices there, but the food bland.
Yeah. Yeah, I sat on in a table with a great big lazy Susan in the middle. It turns around, and you have a pile of empty tortillas in front of you, small ones. They're about 3 inches across, but the turning table had everything on it that you would put in there. So you could put your meat in there, your sauce on there, whatever you picked, and there was 15 levels of heat sauce to put on there, like from mild to very, very, very hot.
From mild to oh hell.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, it's raining.
It's raining.
Yeah, I just hear it on the roof.
Oh, we're supposed to get that by Friday.
Do what, Diane?
Moat Anders on the way.
Oh, you must have more storms.
If I disappear, you know why. Oh, lightning hit you. I don't know what Moat Anders is.
I don't know. Should just
Maybe more more something on the way.
tornadoes.
Tornadoes.
Boy, they've been having it up there.
What's the difference between a tornado and a hurricane?
A tornado is a small, concentrated twister. It circles, and it's usually over land. And it's destructive as hell. I've seen it pick slabs up, concrete slabs up, and tear them up.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it'd be tossing cars and trucks around like matchboxes. Real destructive. And it usually happens when cold air hits hot air. And a hurricane is a tropical storm. It's got some rotation to it. But and a big hurricane have 100-something-mile-an-hour winds. But
Oh,
a tornado, oh Lord, wind's probably 500 miles an hour.
holy.
I mean,
So a tornado has like a smaller eye, would it be? I guess it's called?
well, there's no eye in a tornado. It'll just be what they call a funnel cloud. You'll see
Oh,
a tail drop down out of a deal, and it'd just be going like this.
okay.
Now
Oh,
they
so-
got, you know what a water spout is?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you get over the ocean and right. Okay, you gone, Diane. Stay safe, girl. The when I was in the service, was down on that Indian Ocean, and a water spout is like a little baby tornado, but it'll be on the ocean, and it'll pick water up maybe 100, 150 feet, and run it when it runs up on the beach. Well, then it'll dump all that water, and you talk about people fighting for fish and stuff
Oh,
like that. It'll pick all kind of stuff up, but that's just a little bitty tornado.
okay. Yeah, they have something on the prairie it's called a dust devil.
Yeah.
It's a small, tiny little, but it swirls and it doesn't probably pick up anything up. It's not that destructive. But as a kid, I used to run over and run inside it. Get everything going.
Yeah, we have those down there in Texas too.
There's Mr. John Smith. Snow debs. Hurricanes can be 1,000 miles wide. Wow. Holy smokes. Yeah, no wonder when you see them on the news, there is just a big hole in the center and it's just swirling around. 1,000
Well,
miles wide center. Wow.
Something else that's funny about that is you got hurricanes up here, and then you get past the equator, and you've got what they call cyclone, and but a hurricane goes to a hurricane class of 75 miles an hour, and that cyclone goes to I think it's cyclone. Maybe I'm using the wrong word. Typhoon. A typhoon isn't classed a typhoon until it hits 150 miles an hour for wind.
Holy. So would that be true too about like when water goes down the drain in the north it's clockwise and in the south it's counter? Did the hurricanes do that too?
Yeah.
Turn the other way? Oh wow.
Hello, Snow Deb. How you doing tonight?
I can hear it raining now.
Yeah, I'm coming on down now.
That's what that is.
That's sure good sleeping with a rain on a travel trailer roof or a metal roof.
Oh yeah. I like that too. The tornado earlier was a EF2. I don't know what that is.
They class them from like a 1 up to a 5.
Oh, okay.
So
Class 2.
this town I live in Waco, years when I was a little bitty kid, 5 tornadoes hit at the same time right through downtown, and it just killed a whole bunch of people and went down through all the businesses and stuff. It just leveled downtown Waco.
Holy. Rating from the National Weather Service. Okay. Category 2. I mean, I've seen them on TV and stuff, but I've never actually seen a tornado or a hurricane in real life.
You don't want to.
No. Although in Cancun, if you come here in hurricane season, you can see them and hear them.
Yep.
Not a tent or camper van. Okay. The little pigs built this house out of stone.
Well, a lot of people don't realize it. I put 325,000 miles on a 1-ton truck delivering RVs all over the United States and Canada and Alaska. And a lot of people really freak out about wind. But if you'll take your vehicle is made to run down the road 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, and that travel trailer is too. If you get off the highway someplace and point the nose of that truck right square into the wind, you can ride some pretty good storms out with them.
Oh yeah.
You turn sideways to them now, that's a different ball game. But if you put that nose, I've rode some hellacious storms out doing that.
We lost an entire town to an outbreak several years ago. Wow.
Did they finally get a death toll up there in Little Rock, Diane?
And then they got people that chase storms.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
That's sort of like grabbing a tiger by the tail. That end might stink, but that other end bites.
That's for sure.
I know there were supposed to be like 600 injuries in that deal in Little Rock. Where are you from, Deb? You about to run up on your 2 hour or two, aren't you?
I'm on StreamYard tonight.
Oh, okay.
There is no limit. Well, you have 20 hours a month, so I suppose you could have 20 hours straight, and then you're off.
Sick. Ooh, they were lucky then. I hear one of your dogs barking.
Yeah, I was wondering what the heck is that noise? Still looking. Last I heard, it was 6 dead, but over 600 injured. Holy! I don't know where John's from, Snowdeb.
Do what?
I don't know where John is from. I think his name's John Snowdebs. Usually, when somebody comes online, I like to call them at least by their name. And some people make up names, but that's all right. Oh, Gettysburg. Gettysburg. Ah, right on.
Well, I'm from Texas, and we got Texas and Canada. And if Diane wants to know where she's from, she'll tell you.
My address.
Somebody asked me where I was from, and I'd say from my mama.
Yeah, all of a sudden the rain lets up a bit. They don't hear it, and then they can hear it again.
No, it just the wind picked up though. I don't think we're supposed to have any really bad weather, some thunderstorms, but I finally got around to trying some of them pickled quail eggs out. They're gonna turn out pretty good.
Well, they sound like they could be good. That's for sure.
They,
So do they? I mean, do they taste like a chicken egg, or are they slight bit different? Or
they're a little. I don't know how to say it. They're creamier,
okay, yeah, it's pretty hard to explain what an egg tastes like.
but it's I don't know. They're milder. That's what I'm trying to say. They're smoother than a chicken egg is. It takes a lot of them, but I like them. But these pickle ones they taste sort of like a dill pickle
Okay,
when you
what do you
pickle
put them in? Just a jar of vinegar or something, or how do you pickle them?
You got vinegar and peppers and dill seed, mustard seed, and a bunch of spices you put in there.
Yeah. And you leave them for, I guess.
You're
Just put
supposed
it
to
in
leave them in the ice box for 2 weeks, but they're a week old. I had to try one.
there. Wow. Just
But
bite size.
yeah, they'll keep for about a year in the ice box like that.
Holy. Yeah, that'd be nice. Just bite size.
People, and I've been reading about the people what they do eating them, and they're putting them, slicing them, and putting them on salads and making deviled eggs out of them, and they do all kind of stuff with them.
I was just thinking about, like, if you wanted to have like bacon and eggs in the morning with a tiny little quail fried egg, that would look so small.
Well, I like scrambled egg sandwiches, and 5 of them quail eggs is just right for a scrambled egg sandwich. You got plenty, I mean, and
Wow.
but there's a couple more things I got to buy. They've got a deal for them quail eggs to where you boil them. You make boiled eggs out of them, and then put them in a jar and rattle them around till you crack the shell. And then it's got this little machine that you drop them on, and in just 2 or 3 seconds they come off the other end, and the shell's all gone.
What the heck?
Yeah, you know how hard it is to peel a boiled egg from a chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, these things here, this old boy did 50 eggs in about 4 or 5 minutes.
Holy. You rattle them around, the shell falls right off, eh?
Yeah, well, it's 2 rollers, and it takes that hull off of them. Doesn't cut
Oh,
them, doesn't cut them up or anything. I'm gonna have to order one of them.
I seen on YouTube an egg factory where they boil eggs and then they peel them, I guess, to put them in, pickle them or whatever. But in a factory, it goes between rollers like that, but and it just cracks it and they fall right out. But it's all got to do with the temperature of the egg. It can't be hot or it can't be cold. After you boil them, they put them in cold water to get them to the exact temperature, and then between these rollers, and then the egg just cracks in half with a shell. The shell goes away, and the perfect egg comes out the other end. It's amazing.
I tell you what, peeling eggs is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I know. If you want to have eggs for like a boiled egg, and you're peeling for half an hour on one egg, it just got little tiny bits coming off.
I just take these quail eggs and I'll cook them, and just as soon as I get through cooking them, well, I'll start running tap water over them, which is cold, and cool them down all the way, and then let them sit for 10 minutes, and then they peel pretty easy. Then I can peel
Okay.
about. It take, I don't know, less than a minute to peel one if you do them that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. But I'm impressed with the quail. I want, like I say, I want 100 of them in the freezer, and then I want to do a bunch of pickled eggs too. So it'd be meat and eggs.
Yeah. So you got to leave some eggs so that they hatch, I suppose, eh? So you get lots and
Well,
lots of.
it's like I gathered 21 eggs up that you're not supposed to hatch them uh, if they're over 7 days old.
Okay.
And so I had three hens laying. So I got 21 eggs, and I put them in the incubator. And then, because they'll lay an egg a day.
Oh, wow.
And what I want is I want to wind up with 10 hens and 2 roosters that I keep. Well, that'd be 10 eggs a day. They give you plenty to pickle or do whatever you want to with.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah. I had some friends in Alberta there that they liked chickens, and they weren't on purpose to raise them, but they just liked them. And they had a rooster and I think 6 chickens or 6 hens. And before you know it, they had way too many eggs. They couldn't even eat them themselves. They were giving them away or selling them or whatever. But just 6 hens, and they had way too many eggs.
yeah, well, you take 10, that'd be 70 eggs a week.
Holy.
But the other thing about it is that, like the quail eggs, they get $9 a dozen for them.
Holy smokes, man.
And then dressed quail go for $10 a piece.
What the heck, eh?
So
Yeah, I seen them in the stores, tiny little, I don't know what color, black with dark color, speckled kind of eggs. I guess they're all the same kind of color.
well, they got different breeds. Some of them got green eggs, and some of them got white eggs, and there's
Oh,
there's a lot of different breeds of quail.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. These things are pretty neat. I put those in the incubator, and they should be hatched out in 21 days.
Okay.
And then when they're 5 to 6 weeks old, they start laying eggs. And when they're 7 to 8 weeks old, they're ready to butcher.
Is that right?
Yeah, so they're a real fast growing egg and meat producer.
Holy smokes. So they're big enough at 8 weeks for butchering already.
Yeah, they weigh about a pound
Well, that's
at
pretty good.
8 weeks.
Wow, they are fast. Holy.
Yeah, like a chicken's like, I don't know, what, 21 days when they hatch, but it's like 12 or 15 weeks before they start laying eggs.
Okay.
But they've been bred for meat and eggs so many years in Japan that they actually won't raise their own. You got to incubate them. You don't get hens that sit on eggs and hatch them. They
Ah.
just lay them and walk off, and they just lay them wherever they're at. That's when they lay them. A friend of mine raises them, and he reached in a cage and they had some straw in there, and he reached in there feeling around for eggs and come up with a damn chicken snake.
Oh boy.
It's been interesting.
Yeah, there's this lady I follow on YouTube. Her name is Nona Grace. I don't know if you know her. Her name is Nona Grace. She's from Western New York, and she has, I don't know how many, but there's quite a few chickens. Well, she had one. She called him Mr. Brown, and it grew up, and she noticed it was a hen. And so she, well, I left the name. It's Mr. Brown. But she has a couple of roosters, and I don't know how many hens, but quite a few. They've got always plenty of eggs.
Well, you know what's craziest things we're getting right now? It's not bad to have a backup plan. You know, as far as stuff you eat. I'm not a prepper, but I believe in being prepared for some stuff, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like these eggs. They've got another deal that they call water glassing. And what you do is you take food grade lime and put in water, and then take those eggs and just, before you don't boil them, don't do anything to them, fresh eggs, and you drop them in a jar with that lime and water. And without any refrigeration, they'll stay a year.
Oh, wow. Hey.
And that's what people used to do in the old days. Is, you know, in the summertime, the chickens would be laying all kind of eggs, and they'd just be dropping them eggs in a jar. And then in the wintertime, when the chickens quit laying, well, they'd have fresh eggs all winter long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I'm wondering about an ostrich egg. Man, that's enough for a couple of breakfasts right there.
Oh, a little more than that. I've got a friend of mine that runs a game ranch. He's got them ostriches and emus on there. And every year he puts a deal on. And it's a breakfast, but it'll be off them ostrich eggs. And
Holy.
he'll feed 25, 30 people off 2 or 3 eggs, you know.
Wow. Holy smokes. Yeah, they're big. My dad used to
Them ostrich eggs are like that. I mean, they're huge.
I know. Well, my dad used to not get the egg with something in it, but the empty egg, and then he would carve it because they're pretty thick. He would put like carvings on butterflies and whatever carved all around it. They were empty when he bought them.
Yeah, then it's something else. He's got the emus have got eggs that are smaller. Them some mean little critters.
Better believe it. They got some feet on them that's supposed to.
Ostrich does too.
Ostrich eggs looks like HSVE to
Had
hurt.
about being big. Well, you know, these quail, those eggs are about half the size of a chicken egg, and that quail is about a tenth the size of a big chicken.
they, they, they have to lay pretty big eggs for them the size of the quail.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a good thing it doesn't hurt them.
I guess they get used to it.
Yeah. Cross his legs. Yeah. Well, yeah, an ostrich egg's pretty big. It's coming out of a bird. I know the birds are big themselves, but the size of the egg, my goodness.
Well, them things can run too. And, you know, they had a deal going on the emus about the emu meat and the emu oil and all that kind of stuff. You know, you was gonna raise them things and get rich. It was a scheme. And well, when that market just hit the bottom, people got tired of feeding them emus and they just turned them loose. And we had a couple of them on that deer lease I hunted. And them things can run. You couldn't get 500 yards of them things.
Yeah.
Hello, Sharon Lewis.
Oh, I didn't see Sharon pop in there. Well, hello, Sharon. She just got her new book today, so she's excited.
A new book.
Yeah, it's about a starch-based diet. Pretty well-known doctor.
Damn, I need to find a diet someplace.
Oh, you didn't. Sharon says you didn't knock. Okay. You need to find a diet someplace.
Yeah, that's the only thing bad about living in this travel trailer is all I got to do is spin this chair around and I can open the house box.
Yeah.
Too handy.
Yeah, really handy.
Well, all my life I run between 180 and 190. Hello, Tasha.
Oh, Tasha, I was just at her live here earlier today. She was going for a walk. And yeah, I'm getting my new glasses on April the 21st. I just went for a new prescription today, so I got those coming up.
I got to go get a cataract took off, and I'll get some new glasses.
Yeah, that's my problem. The doctor said he's wringing his hands. You know, I don't know how many operations he does, lots of them. And he said, you're in the chair for 20 minutes and we're all done. Your cataracts is taken out and they put a new lens in there and what have you.
Yeah, I've had one done. I need to get another done.
Oh. I'm still stuck on a task at work, but we'll be on the side. All right. Oh, you're cheating, are you?
They call me Sharon. They call me Ron Darrell, but I'm really just Ron. I started to change that name, and then I thought, well, most people know me by that name, so I'm gonna just leave it alone.
Yeah, might as well. Oh, my phone just went ding. I'm sure that's maybe Sharon. Still work, just this miss. Okay. Yeah, that was Sharon.
I think Sharon's been in my live before, haven't you, Sharon?
Here's his channel. See, I'm on a seafood diet too. When I see food, I eat.
Yeah. I tell you what, you were talking about the tacos a while ago. There's one thing I've never tried. I thought you had been. Is fish tacos. Everybody talks about going down to Mexico and eating fish tacos. That's one I've never had.
Oh yeah, you see, I don't really like too much fish. I like salmon and I like trout fish, but like a pike or whatever you call those fish. I don't like them. But a fish taco doesn't taste like fish. It's great. I like it.
Oh, okay, neat, Diane.
Sharon, Michael Santana are family. Yeah, they are.
Tasha, what part of the country are you from?
Crashed twice, trying to do so. Subbed up after YouTube crashed twice. Oh. I can't remember exactly where Tasha's from, but I don't even know the last video here or live maybe wasn't from her native city. I don't know if she was in someplace else or what, but uh, I was just watching it just before I came on. Yeah, Sharon's in Florida.
Yeah. You're in Florida, huh? Oh, okay.
She's
We
in
got
South
family.
California. Okay.
Well, I'm from Texas. So I know I sound like a Yankee when I talk, but I am from Texas. Somebody said something about, said, you got an accent. I said, hell, I don't have an accent. I just talk slow.
Yeah. Where I'm from, I don't have an accent.
I tell you what, some of these people on here talk so damn fast, I can't even listen that fast, much less talk that fast.
Well, I have friends encouraging me to try to learn Spanish, but a lot of people in Cancun speak English. Hey,
Hello, Nate.
Nate is in the house here. And like I said, learning Spanish, when you talk to them, they talk so fast, I can't even pick the words out that I know. It's just, they're talking a mile a minute.
Now, Diane, darling, I don't have an accent now.
Slow as molasses in January. Yes. Yeah, we got dogs going here. Somebody walks by and then they're all the way down the street there. I'm sure a lot of their barking has got to do with that there's not even people walking around and they'll be barking. I think it's they're bored. They got nothing to do. They don't walk them. They just they're all big dogs. A lot of them are pit bulls, and they only have them as a deterrent. They don't want them as pets. As a matter of fact, when they move from one house to the other, they leave the dogs. They're just running free in the streets after that.
Mm. Yeah, everywhere I was ever at in Mexico, there were plenty of dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's raining again a little bit. Well, did you get your rules laid out, Nate?
Hiding from the storm.
I had a Yorkie that died here about a year ago, and one clap of thunder 25 miles away, and he was hiding. Rocky
Yeah.
don't pay much attention to it. Rocky look around a little bit. If it really gets bad, he may come up and lay down by my chair or something, but it don't seem like it bothers him too bad.
Yeah, I mean, some people say they don't like pit bulls because they're mean. No, they're not mean. I think it all depends on how you train them. I've seen the most friendliest pit bulls in my life that if they had a tail, they could wag any harder they would. Any other animals would, like little ducklings and stuff, would crawl all over this pit bull, and he didn't mind it at all. Like they were very, very friendly. I think it's how you train them.
I tell you what, I had a ex-son-in-law that raised pits, and I learned a lot about them. And the pits that are sweet dogs, they're just as easy going until they get mad. And when they get mad, they don't have any damn sense. And you got to
No.
really watch them. And they're a herd animal. So if one of them gets stirred up, well, if there's 4 or 5 of them around, you might be in trouble.
Yeah, and the nature of those dogs is their jaw. Like when they bite on you or when they bite, they got a hold of you. That's it.
Yeah. And a friend of mine had a pit that he's had for, oh Lord, 10 years, I guess. And he had to get rid of her here a while back. She got to jumping on one of his other dogs, and she's fixing to kill that other dog. Every time they get around each other, well, and it just all of a sudden. That's like a friend of mine that I was in the service with. He raises Dobermans and trains dogs. And I asked him last time I talked to him, I said, how'd you Dobie? He said, oh, I had to put him down. I said, what? He said, yeah. I said, a Doberman brain, said, when a Doberman gets 7 to 8 years old, you need to have them put down. Said, a Doberman's brain never quits growing. And said,
Oh,
that's
wow.
why. Said, what happens, they'll have a stroke. And they might be the same, they might be real mild, or they may just be meaner than hell, just like people that have stroke. You change the personalities, you know. And he said, so you need to put them down when they're 7 years old.
Holy smokes, man. Wow.
And, you know, used to when Dobies were real popular, you'd hear of a dog that was part of a family and been raised around kids and everything, and all of a sudden they'd wind up and kill somebody or chew them up real bad. And he said,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Holy smokes.
And Adobe is a big dog. I mean, you know, they got some muscle to them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're big chest on them things. Oh, all I see when the last part there was under the skirt, I thought you were talking about upskirting or something, whatever that's.
But I tell you, we have trouble here when the fireworks get started. There's a lot of people lose a lot of dogs. The fireworks get started and them dogs go running and then they can't find them.
Oh, yeah, I heard about, yeah, like I heard of that. Or when a siren blows, then they start howling.
Oh, I got to go fix me something to eat. My belly button's getting pretty close to my backbone.
Yeah, I as well. I think I'm going to do that too. I'm going to have something to eat here. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock here. Yeah, it's time I ate something. Well,
man,
Ron, it's a great pleasure to have you on. We had a good conversation at least tonight. That was great.
I appreciate you getting me up. And like I say, on my live, holler at me one of these days and come on up on the screen there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
I tell you what, it helps. It helps to have somebody else on the screen where you're not just talking to yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a tendency to maybe talk a lot, and I'm talking myself. And yeah, you're right. It is nice to have someone on there to have a conversation with, and people are chatting more on the side too. So.
You be nice, Nate. Where my hammer at?
Yeah. Okay, Ron. Thanks for
Okay.
coming in, and thanks everybody in the chat or in the chat here. Thanks for popping in. And it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes, so that's a good period of time. So, all right, guys, love yous all, and we'll catch you on the next pop up. Thanks, guys. Good night, everyone. Talk to you later. Thanks, Diane. Nate, Sharon, everybody that was in here. Thanks a lot.